lot of our customers at Farmers Market want to know what free ranging means. And for us at Smith Meadows, free ranging means genuinely having our chickens out on grass, in the sunshine, in the fresh air, actually getting exercise. We've been raising chickens like this for close to 15 years, with lots of trial and error, but now we feel like we've got a pretty successful system. Raising the chickens like this isn't all just about free ranging. Definitely that's what we're about. But moreover, as we use these nets, they're really easy to put in and take out and move. About every 5 to 7 days, depending on how quickly they eat this fresh pasture, we'll give them a new section. As you can see over here to our right, where there's a couple chickens left that probably just flown over the net, we'll get them back in. That was their previous pasture. You can probably see how it's been grazed down, and now the freshness of this pasture. In about 6 or 7 days, we'll be moving again to the left. We'll be taking that whole net down and moving it over there. A couple things about our chickens. If you listen carefully, you can hear them singing. That's a sure sign of a contented bird when they're making that singing noise. And a couple other things about free ranging these birds. Yeah, it's wonderful that we're able to let the chickens express themselves, get out here, and if you watch carefully in the background, I'm sure you'll see them foraging out here. We don't have a huge insect load this time of year, but later on, grasshoppers and beetles will all be fair game. It's so important that we're able to use these chickens to fertilize. If you look way back here to the coops, we're at this point several hundred yards away from the coops. We just move these nets in long alleys and we create bands of fertilization. When these 900 chickens are done feeding and grazing, they're going to leave behind a week's worth of manure. We'll move this net down and give this pasture right here at least 2 months, maybe even 3 months of recovery time before the chickens are back here. There's several questions people ask us about raising chickens in this manner. Obviously, these birds are pretty fragile when it comes to predation. We have overhead predators in the form of hawks, eagles, owls at night, and lots of terrestrial predators, particularly around twilight and dawn. Foxes, raccoons, possums, lots of things like to eat chicken. So to accomplish that, we use this electrified netting. We can easily move it. It's made out of plastic. It's really durable. And the biggest problem we've had is some of these posts will break, and we have to replace them with a $1.50 post here sold at the local tractor supply company. And it's got little aluminum threads running through it that creates a mild shock. Mild to us, but pretty intimidating for a fox or even a coyote. For overhead predators, our birds, these alleys are intentionally shaped. They're kind of crafted like an airplane runway or a plane carrier out on the ocean, so to speak. It creates a landing strip that the birds don't like. These hawks and eagles are very clever. They'll sit in the tree and observe, or even from up above, and they'll try to identify how best to land. And using these alleys seems to intimidate their flight patterns and discourage any kind of predation. This is one of our chicken feeders, made out of really simple materials. One piece is Schedule 40 plumbing pipe that we cut down the length, and we just bracket it to treated 2x4s. Up here, closer to the coop, you can see how we've put our hutches together. These are all 12x16 hutches that we talked about in a prior video. And the doors, little doors cut all the way around the back. Doors are very easy to open. Just like this. If we leave that for more than about 30 seconds, chickens will start coming right out. Of course, we just want the chickens to come out where we want them to come out, which is into our alley. So you can see we got one door open up there to service this alley, and throughout the day, the chickens will just come and go back and forth, graze, come in for water, come in to lay their eggs. We got our guard dog Bosca here, who again serves as a predator deterrent with her little mobile shelter that we move around. So that's been the journey, and here's our destination: free-range eggs. We use really simple plywood boxes that we make right here on the farm. The chickens come in to the inside, and we're able to access the nest from the outside. We got about 900 chickens out here, give or take, and they're laying about 600 to 650 eggs a day, which puts them right about the right spot of about 70-75% each day. We've got this little net up here just so they don't hop out on us, but we can very easily reach in. It's not to prevent them from moving. And they just come and go as they please. Again, listen to that singing. That's the first sign of a really happy chicken. We'll take a quick peek inside the coop, and keep in mind, we leave our doors open to the outside for access 24 hours a day. This allows the chickens to stay in their own biorhythms as the sun continues to rise earlier or set later, or vice versa. It allows the chickens to come and go. We always keep that net nice and hot. We'll open this up. This is for people to be able to get in. And if we need to get in here to check on their waters, just daily we check on things, we can easily get in here. Every day we add a little bit of bedding, which is just this real simple pine shavings. The dryer, we can keep this bedding. And here's a little surprise nest that they made. That's another reason to come in here and check on things. The dryer, we can keep this bedding. The greater chance we're going to keep the bacteria down and undesirable things. Next year, instead of running all the nets from south to north, we're going to turn them around, use all these doors right here, and run them north to south. And we'll just fertilize this whole field right out here in front of us. This is our Anatolian Shepherd, Bosca, who was raised from a puppy to help guard these chickens. She stays out here all day long, gets as much sun and exercise as she wants, and has 900 friends to help keep her company. Don't be chicken, come visit.